Hey folks, have you heard the news? There's a new variant in town. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. News, I've heard that one before. Oh, but it seems that this new variant is something different. First of all, they're referring to it as a subvariant, which is a new term on me. Now, as I understand it, these variants are forms of viruses, which are forms of bacterial culture. So therefore, this new subvariant would be a new subculture, which is a term that I always think of in the sociological context, like beatniks, hippies, punkers, hip-hoppers. So therefore, this new variant would be the first hipster variant, which kind of concerns me because if it's a hipster variant, does that mean that younger people are more susceptible to it? They're also saying that this is a relative of Omicron. In fact, I heard one reporter say that it's the son of Omicron. Sorry, I just can't say that phrase without using that tone of voice. Now, one thing I want to make clear is that, as I understand it, this new variant has nothing whatsoever to do with the estate of Frank Zappa, which means after it goes away, we shouldn't have to worry about the return of the son of Omicron. The name they've given to this new variant is BA.2. So you know what that means. It's a variant with a university degree and a slightly higher degree than BA.1. Folks, I think we need to do whatever we can to get this under control, because the next thing you know, we're going to have variants with master's degrees and PhDs, and when somebody gets a PhD, people start calling them doctor. I mean, just imagine, doctor variant, I mean, that's such a paradox. It's like a cop who breaks the law, or a youth counselor who messes with underage people, or a mad scientist. When I was really young and I started watching horror films, when I first heard the term mad scientist, I thought they were just talking about a doctor who's really pissed off. Now, does a new variant mean that we have to get another vaccination? Because right now it seems that the maximum number we're up to in Canada is 3. The other day I was on a crowded bus and I said, wow, there's a lot of people on here. I hope everyone's double vaxxed like me. Is everyone double vaxxed? And they said, yeah, I came with the crowd. Then I said, has anyone here had 3 vaccinations? And someone said, yes, I've had 3. And I said, okay, I got 3, do I hear 4? I got 3, do I hear 4? But no one responded. It seems to me that COVID has now become a bit like a pop star, because they always say the big drag about being a pop star is you're only as good as your last record. So the way that people like the Beatles and David Bowie held the public's interest throughout their careers was constantly coming up with new hit records. For example, when Beatlemania faded, they came out with Sgt. Pepper, which many people consider to be their greatest album, perhaps the greatest album of the decade and of all time. When public interest in David Bowie started to fade, he came out with Let's Dance, which turned out to be one of the biggest records of that year and one of the biggest records of his career. They also say that if you want to get into the music business, it really helps if you have a relative who's already very well established in the business. They also saying that this new variant has lots of mutations, like about 20 or so. So I thought, well, why don't they just, if these things are coming out in clusters, why don't they just start referring to them as the new variants on the block? Then I figured, well, they're probably afraid of some kind of copyright issue. Also, if they start referring to these things as the new variants on the block, some of us might get confused, because to a lot of us, all these mutations kind of look alike, or at least sound alike. Finally, I'd like to end off by saying that I'm getting kind of tired at the way the scientific community keep hogging the naming of these variants all to themselves. I realize that because they are the ones who are working on them and discovering them, they probably feel a certain sense of entitlement, but COVID is something that affects us all. So I think the next time that they feel that a new variant is coming out, they should hold an international Name the Variant contest, where people can email in their ideas. Just one entry per person or per household. And then the winner gets free vaccinations for them and their family for life. I mean, think about it. Free vaccinations for you and your family for life. Because the way things are going, that kind of feels like where we're headed.